Hey guys, Cotton Grammar here. Another Assimilation Light, the chronological series that takes you from zero all the way to holding a lightsaber in your hand, ready to go to battle. Tonight, guys, last week, we graduated everyone that has made it to this point up to baby Jedis. We gave you your lightsabers. Now it is time to fight the Empire. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Yeah, yep.
It is time. And we will tonight, we are going to be going over something very, very important. And you know what? If you don't know how to set up your PBNs properly, it doesn't matter how many you buy. It doesn't matter how powerful they are. Footprints leads to danger. Danger leads to de-indexation and leads to unhappy clients. So sometimes we have to have foundational work, which is getting in, digging the trenches and getting this stuff done. More of a technical webinar tonight. And tonight we're going to hand it over to Joe, and he is going to go over step by step what you need to do and really get in and dig in exactly how you need to be setting up your hosting. You know, it was something that really, really, really hampered me when I first started in OMG. I didn't know. I was like, where do I put the name servers? What's personal name servers? What's this? What's that? What's under the hood? Like, what's all this stuff going on? You know, and if you guys feel like that, give me a hashtag yes. Sometimes you're just getting started out. Hosting just is confusing to you. Give me a yes and be honest about it, because it really, really, really kind of tripped me up. If you guys want to know how to go out and set up hosting on 500 different sites and not have any footprints, that's what we're going to do for you tonight. But man, Joe, this was one of these things that I just couldn't get. And there was only two webinars back 2.5 years ago. There was just Fletch and Greg. And I remember that, I listened for people to ask questions, and I was like, how are people figuring this out? Because I have no idea, So tonight we're going to pull the curtain back, Joe. We're going to peek up your skirt and see what's going on. How's that sound?
Yeah, man, we can do it. It is, dude. Hosting is, man. There's so many things that can trip people up, and there's things people worry about that you don't need to, and there's some things that people need to worry about that they don't. So, but really, it's pretty basic. So I think, man, after tonight, everybody on here will be crystal clear on what to do.
That is exciting. So, which means now we have given assignments the last 3 or 4 weeks. How many of you completed your assignment? I want you to give me hashtag PBN that you went out and bought, you searched, you filtered, and bought what you feel is a safe PBN. I want you to give me a hashtag PBN. I really want to see how many people were able to do this. It's very important. And we want to see, so this is it? Or is this everyone still trying to get their phones out or trying to figure out how to get to the screen?
Oh, here they go. Now they're coming on.
Coming a little slow, Joe. Maybe there's a delay up in foreign countries or something, like a 5-second delay, but even though I know there's not. But so it looks like a lot of people seem to went out and had some success. And that's great. How many of you guys spent longer than an hour hunting for your PBN? Give me hashtag hour. I want to see. If you literally spent longer than an hour, because some of you guys, let me tell you something. This is when it gets to be real challenging, because what we did was we sent about 200 people plus out on the market looking for a PBN. So you got OMGers in groves out there frivolously looking for a PBN, which does create a little bit of competition, and you got to dig a little deeper. But you know what? It makes you a stronger analyzer. Makes you dig in deeper to do this. Some of you guys that spent 5 minutes are lucky, because I was helping out a friend of mine that I'm trying to help teach SEO, and guess what? I couldn't find one in about 40 minutes. And I was doing it by hand, just like I told you guys to do. Back and forth until finally I just said, you know what? Just keep going. You'll find one. So it's something that I had to do a lot of. And you had to do a lot of too, Joe. How many hours do you think you've spent hunting for PBNs?
Oh, man, days.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'll get on and you may search and there may be nothing there, and then you come back the next day or a little while later and then they pop up. So it's almost like when I was really building the PBNs, I would just hit it like an hour a day, or I would just every day. It was just part of my schedule to hunt down some PBNs.
Sure, absolutely. One of the things that I want to really encourage you guys, these assimilation lights are going to start picking up the pace a little bit because you guys seem to have a little bit of knowledge underneath you. So there is a time where I literally believe that with some of the things that we're going to get into over the next 4 or 5 weeks, I'm going to continue this out as long as possible until I can drop you off right in assimilation. But then again, I really believe with what some of the things that we're going to go over in the next month, you're going to be, and I mean this sincerely, because what I don't see, there's a lot of OMGers having success, but I don't see a lot of number ones anywhere. So what we're really doing is the first time we're teaching things on how Joe and I rank things and how, the modernized stuff is. So literally everyone that I have taken under my wing has a number one. Or they had it and they lost it because they weren't listening to what I was telling them to do in their own city for SEO. So with that, we're going to get into some more advanced stuff over the next few weeks, and you're going to be able to decimate your competition. And you're going to be able to, guys, I really don't even look at competition. I don't even care. I look at a keyword and I just go, okay, it's mine. And I just get to work. I don't look at their backlinks. I don't look at anything. I just go. I just know that I am a better SEO than everyone else there, but the foundational work, the people that I hang out with, the information that I get, the research from Greg and Joe and Fletch and and Steven and everyone, and all of our combined information together is more powerful than any competition I'm going to go after. So you need to trust the same thing as well. You follow along, I guarantee you're going to be able to crush it. A lot of you are still seeing rankings and a lot of other stuff. So guys, you need to be really, 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 if you haven't got caught up with assimilation lights, or even if you need to go back and watch them back from the beginning, back to the end, you'll find that I put a lot of Easter eggs, and so has Joe, through the whole webinar. We'll say things tongue in cheek that you really didn't know. Just like I showed you guys, literally, I told you I would never show you my site analyzation and how we just unveiled it right in front of your eyes, how we've done it already. So if you go back through, you'd be shocked at what other Easter eggs that you can find through all the webinars that we put in there that you'll now understand. You didn't understand it then, watch it again, it'll become more clear. So that's what we're going to do. So what we will do is, Joe, we're going to jump right into the questions right now, and we'll see what's up.
All right.
So
we got a bunch of them.
Wow, people are asking PBN questions, and we're just going to get to it. Cotton, can you share the tools that you use for keyword analysis? Absolutely. I use the discovery form and what my clients ask for, and then I rank them for that. Or I go into SEMrush and I look at what the most traffic is. You see, I'm a different type of an SEO, and I've raised myself differently. I don't run from competition. I go straight for it. I don't try to look for these. When I hear people, I'm looking for long tails. What you are is you're looking to pull the tail between out under your legs. I don't go for those keywords. I'm going to pick them up anyway when I'm going for the big boys. So with keyword analysis, I really don't look for long tails or easy rankings. That's for people that are weak. I'm not building you guys to be weak little girls or little boys or anything like that. I'm building you guys to be strong. If you really want to do keyword analysis, you have the keyword planner and you got your brain. And that's what you do. Or I use SEMrush to look for the most difficult keyword that has the most traffic at it, and I go for that. For my clients, for myself, for anything. Remember, when I first started ranking I said, you know what? I'm going for Chicago. The reason is I knew geographically, I'd get more searches off Chicago. Chicago has a higher search volume than New York City or Los Angeles or this because there's no breakoffs. There's Los Angeles SEO, LA SEO, that's a breakoff. NYC SEO, New York City SEO, breakoff, which left the king of all SEO keywords to be Chicago SEO. There's no breakoffs. There's no abbreviations. There's no little weak agencies that can sneak in and say they're number one. That's why I went after Chicago. So I do keywords a little bit differently. Joe, do you have any advice for that?
I do pretty similar to what you're saying with SEMrush and Keyword Planner if I need to. The only other thing I'll do is if a client wants to rank for a certain keyword, I stick it in Google. I look for what the related terms are because those are terms that are also going to get traffic, and I might add those keywords to it. But I don't go into any real in-depth keyword research or have any fancy tools for it.
No, it's crazy. No, I don't. Maybe affiliate people do that because they just want to rank easy. I don't know. But even Joe, you do a lot of lead gen stuff. You go for the traffic. You run right to it.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, exactly. Like I want what the traffic is, and you can everything you need to find is in Keyword Planner anyway. And if I'm going to get additional keywords, they're just going to be. I want to find keywords that support my main keyword. So it's like, yeah, there's nothing that I do that requires anything than Keyword Planner and Google. So.
Great. How can we get links from CNN and New York Times, etc.? I guess message the sites themselves and ask them. I don't know. So, Joe, do you have any contacts there?
No. I mean, you could try doing a press release. You could try doing a press release, and you may get and press release, you're not going to get a link directly from CNN. It'll be like they're off. I don't know. Sometimes it's a subdomain or some off type site, but
honestly, I know how to go on a high speed chase and run through a couple houses. Make it a good one. I'm sure you'll get some links for that. So once again, guys, this literally you're asking for shortcuts or ways you can buy your way to the top. It's not going to be that way. Sites like that are earned, not bought. So we will continue on. It says, guys, I've always wondered how you keep PBNs fresh. How often do you update them? Joe?
It depends on the PBN. If it's a high-value PBN, I'll run a little bit of traffic to it. And a lot of times my PBNs are ranking for different keywords anyway, and they'll get a little of their own traffic. And then I'll just update it now and again when I have to do in a post. I don't really have a schedule for updating all my PBNs.
Easter egg number one. Once you take a number one, your PBNs are going to degrade anyway, unless you're putting traffic and adding more links to them. What solidifies you in that number one position is, I want you to look at this, and it's absolutely 100% true. Google is based on a company that wants to give the user the best possible experience. They want to give it the best answer. And that is proven through click and search. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at your website being number one as being a representative, kind of like the Miss Universe or the Mr. Universe of that keyword. You're up at number one. How do you represent them? Is your site a good representation for what that keyword is all about? And that's what it is. If nobody likes it and they click over it and they go to other stuff, then doesn't that give Google a reason to put someone else in that position? Or answer me this. How in the world would Google want to remove you if the site has 1,000 searches and you're getting 700 clicks on your website and everyone is clicking around on your site and staying there for 4 minutes? Now, let me ask you this. Do you think you're going to be removed from number one? Just give me a hashtag yes or give me a hashtag no. I want to see who's following me. Well, guys, we got about 300 people on here. Do you really believe that you're going to be removed? And the answer is no. You're like not. So what I've done and what I've found is because I have held very well through my study over the last year, and I've held very well with my number one positions of people staying on there, is that I can let my PBNs degrade and still hold that number one position, but just keep refreshing them once, maybe every year and a half that I've kind of learned. Now, I'm not saying not to do what Joe does because you exactly do that to keep them even more fresh. But ultimately, you're going to use these PBNs to push yourself up into a position that literally where you're representing Google. How you represent it comes down to your conversion, comes down to your bounce rate, comes down to a lot of other things that keep you there. Now, if other people are building just as hard, then you have to build as hard as well. But if no one's really building links to the site and the keyword, you can stay there forever just on you earning that number one position. So I've learned it's been a very difficult process, me holding all my number ones, but I've never had to worry about the degrading of PBNs. I generally kind of replace everything. So if I've got 150 PBNs pointing at my site, I'll generally replace them with 150 about every 15, 16 months. And just go through, just add some more and get rid of the ones or just let expire or drop out the ones that are down to nothing that I don't want. So, don't you agree, Joe, that once you get to a number one, it's a whole different ballgame?
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, I don't spend a lot of time maintaining PBNs. I mean, you could really get in the weeds doing that. Where now you have 50 PBNs and now you're updating them and you're updating their Facebook page and doing all this stuff. And really, if it's high value, you build it decent enough, it'll get some traffic, and then that's exactly, once you're number one, you're pretty much going to stay there. And if it dies out, I just get another one.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Next question is there danger in purchasing a site with a brand name in the URL, such as the name of a magazine? It depends on what you want to use it for. I believe it or not, when I was first in OMG, I bought YogiBear.net, and I also had BatmanBeyond.net, and I believe I had another one. I still have it. I have RocketRaccoon.org or net, I believe. I don't want to let that go because I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan from way back, 10, 15 years ago. And I realized that once I start studying it, if I start ranking too highly, or if I wanted to turn that into an affiliate site, Batman Beyond or Warner Brothers could come after me. Don't you agree, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky if it's a trademark name, because I've seen people get in trouble buying a trademark name, and then the people they come after them. So I stay away from them personally.
Yeah, if you've got something like ForbesMagazine.com, I probably would not. I mean, unless you're going to use it for a PBN, but if you're going to use it to rank in your money site, no. If you use it for a PBN and it looks clean, sure, go ahead. No problems.
And the worst thing they could do is tell you to take it down.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't spend too much money on it. Yeah. What I would say. So, either way. Here we go. Cotton, when you first started with Client, did you ever do SEO packages? The answer is hell no. Guys, you know what the number one thing that holds up people at a fast food restaurant? The menu. You want to know what the success of other restaurants have been that they found? People like In-N-Out Burger, people like Five Guys and all these other people is the simplicity of a menu. It moves the line along faster. These guys are not qualified enough to choose what package that they would want. They're just not. I give them one thing. Here's what you get, and here's where you go, and that's it. So helps it out tremendously. Next one here. Cotton, I have a question about how you train salespeople working at high-end shops to work for you. Do you get them to screen people and tell them to go to your website and fill out a discovery form, give them a card? It's guys, you're going to have to figure this stuff out on your own. I do different things for different places. I've like got a girl at the Audi place. I like send her stuff all the time. I'm like, she's on the lookout for people and finds out, if they own a business or not. And she knows that sort of stuff and says, how's your business doing? Is it doing good? The reason is, I've got a really good client that is one of the best people around for this. She just kind of leads up to it. And then she goes, if you're ever interested, here's this card. So I just leave some cards there, and however she does it. Remember, you're going to motivate these people as much as they're motivated. That's just it. The bottom line is that if they don't give a damn about talking about me, and they're not going to do it every time, it's when they feel like it. You got to keep touching these people all the time and keep up with them to like get them to do that. It's not going to just be talk to them once. You roll up into a store, high five them, and give them some cards, and you're out the door. It doesn't work like that. So you're just going to have to keep working it and find a system that best works with you in your area, in your city where you live. And it's the relationship that you build. Obviously, Joe and I knew each other last year, but Joe and I know each other way better this year. So Joe and I is going to do stuff for each other. Joe and I will do SEO for each other, or we'll do things for each other. We wouldn't have done that last year. We just knew each other for a few months. So the longer you get to know someone, the better relationship you build with them, the better you take care of them, the better they'll take care of you. But always remember, you're going to have to motivate these people. They're just not going to be one and done, and they're just going to start sending you clients. It doesn't work like that. So we will go to the next one. Guys, whatever you do, I'm not going to be adding anyone to the Facebook group during a webinar. It's crazy. It's a crazy question. Another public service announcement I want to make. And if you understand this, just say clear. Guys, coaches from Joe to myself, to Fletch, to anyone, to Greg, to anyone that does a webinar, we'll get the replay up when the replay gets up. I might be traveling. I might be in another area. I mean, just because you ask me where it is doesn't mean I'm going to move any faster for you. So all you're doing is taking up real estate on the Facebook page for someone else that has a more important question. It gets up when it gets up. And I hate to just be as tough low as I can about it, but you asking me when I'm on a trip and I don't have access to it, why I haven't done it, makes me feel like I'm a lazy ass. And it's like I owe you something when it was your job to show up for the webinar in the first place. And then you're asking me why I haven't served you fast enough. So I want to make sure that we're all clear on that. Give me a hashtag clear. Replays will get up when they get up, and it could take 7 days before they get up. If the replays aren't up after 7 days, then let me know. Let me know. Message me. Don't post it in a Facebook group. Facebook group is not customer service. Message me and say, hey, is there, and guys, there's technical problems too. I might be trying to clean up a technical problem on the webinar. Might have to get it re-edited or something to get it uploaded up. But Joe, you and I both know that posting about it doesn't make it move any faster.
No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't. Not at all. So I want to get it up as quickly as possible, but sometimes things don't permit us to. That's why I always encourage everyone to be live on these webinars. Next one says, hey, Joe. Wow, this is, hey, Joe. I'm having serious problems with the website, understanding what's going on with it. Since it's affiliate oriented, should I PM you rather than interrupting this webinar with more than I already have? Thanks. You can talk about it now if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it. I think he probably wants to do a hot seat or something.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll answer a couple more questions and get to a couple hot seats.
Yeah.
After hosting is weird. Thank God, that's right. Peoples are still. God, I'm not in the Facebook group. Oh, all right. Guys, just to let you know also, I don't put people in the Facebook group. My assistant does. So I don't even go to that other where you're requesting me at, and I gave my assistant off today, so she'll be in tomorrow and get everyone added in. She hasn't been in since Friday, so it'll all happen quickly enough. I promise you. Gentlemen's not really a question, it's a request. May I have some support regarding LinkedIn references? We've already talked about that. Dude, these guys are still, Joe, they're messaging me like mad, like to add them to the Facebook group, even after I just said that. And by the way, guys, I ignore anything sent to my personal Facebook. You have instructions on where to send me the request. You have instructions. So anything sent to my personal Facebook profile, I ignore, just to let you know. It says, hey, Cotton, I have a customer who is a painter doing the fine art abstract. Cuts a long story. He wants me to sell his entire collections of 100 paintings, and the price is $1 million. I'm getting 10% if I can sell it. I'm doing the website and I'm doing the SEO, even though if this is even necessary. So he has a customer who's a painter who's doing abstract paintings, and he wants to sell his entire collection for $1 million. He's getting 10%. Well,
Yeah, he actually PM'd me on this. It's like I mean, it seems like a commission, but what he PM'd me was different. I thought he was getting 10% above $1 million, if he sold it above $1 million. But yeah, I mean, if you want to put I don't usually do by commission stuff at all.
Nah, because you don't know the demand of this painter and how long it's going to take to sell, and is it going to be paid over 10 years or getting it sold. So, first what has to happen is you've got to spend months to get it ranked. And then you got to hope that the guy doesn't get flighty and you don't get upset and the business relationship still works, or he's impatient, or he calls you. Guys, even I get called incompetent after 6 months if they don't think that I'm where I'm at. And then at 7, 8 months, all their rankings are right where they should, then they apologize. So you're going to have to go past some rocky stuff with you being bitter because you're sinking in all your money to get it ranked, and nothing's moving quickly with ranking. So, and to rank for something to sell paintings for at $1,000 a pop, I don't know. I would have to get paid up front. I don't like the model that you've chosen to take. And remember, I'm a digital mover. I get paid for time, energy, and resources. That's it. I don't get paid any other way. So hopefully that makes sense. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, no, because painting is very subjective. Like, if you're going to sell a collection, you have to get it in galleries, and even if you rank for abstract art, who knows if they're going to like that style, and dude, there's a lot to it, and that's why, like, commission based, I don't even know if I take this if the guy paid me,
right? Because
there's just too many moving parts to it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And another question here, guys, for the love of Jesus. This is like, guys, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this out of sheer love and respect. If I get a customer service question on these webinars again, I'm just going to start removing people from the webinar. You're just going to get ejected. Guys, if you want the license to the WP Lightning plugin, paid for it. It was only free live on the webinar. It does not exist anymore. It does not exist. We have posted this 1,000 times in the assimilation group. Please don't take up a valuable space of asking questions to save yourself $20. Just pay the money. Pay the money. All related questions about adding to Facebook groups, your billing, or anything like this, I'm just going to tell Joe, hey, remove this name. We're here to learn. This isn't customer support webinar. I want to make sure that everybody understands that. I want to make sure that they understand that. So next question here is, hey guys, who would you recommend to be the best and most cozy, effective hosting provider for Australia and the States? We're going to go over that tonight. I have 2 questions about social profiles. In socials, they have custom URLs. If they put the name such as your brand name for the social URL, is this over optimization? That is no, it is not. It's your like branding. If you create a new page for your website for a different city, do you create another Google My Business and Yelp for that city? Yes. If you wouldn't, there's no need. There's nothing else. Do you need a lot of email address? No, same email address. Same email address. I use Cotton Grammar. I use Cotton at cottongrammar.com for all my cities that I'm in. It's the same. It's the same company. It's fine. It says Joe and Cotton. I'm having a little trouble getting this mountain of information and action organized, set up and systemized, despite the awesome hot seat with Joe and Fletch. Do you guys recommend a database or a system that you use? I have spreadsheets like crazy and have 100 of those pages of notes with no system. I have 3 clients lined up and have some knowledge, but don't have confidence in my system because of my scramble. You know, what's weird is, Joe, is I've always never thought I was organized, but I guess my system on the back end of dealing with clients is revolutionary, I guess. I don't know. I just use a spreadsheet. I mean, seriously, I don't.
I've never seen anyone who has a system like yours. I mean, you got it down pretty good. You know.
I think I'm so unorganized. You know, guys, it wouldn't be so hard on yourself. I consider myself extremely disorganized, and I've now got 129 clients. So, and it's just one of those things to where I don't think you're ever going to feel like that you've got the best system down. We always want to improve and you always want to do things better, but I just use spreadsheets. We're going to get into a little bit more of that. That's a question more for assimilation and organization and stuff. Joe covers that also on Hot Seat very well. And it's one of those things is I don't want to take a lot of attention away from moving you guys along by organization when we're just had you guys buy one site. And now we're going to show you how to put one site up. And then the progression will be, how do we handle 10 sites? How do we handle this and that? So we're going to work up to that. And if you really need help with that, just message one of us individually. And, and if you're having a problem in a certain area of organization, we might be able to have some tips for you and then just do it from there. So.
Yeah, and I got a couple of hot seats that I'm just doing on organization and system building and stuff coming up. So
Great. Absolutely. Joe's been fantastic about these webinars about organization. So, and Joe, you went over this quite a bit last year. You know, people need to comb through some of your hot seats from last year when you focused around that as well. You had some pretty good information on it. So,
yeah, I had a couple of really good guests on too. So it was back, I think, in the summertime. I did a couple of webinars on it.
Sure. Absolutely. I remember those. It says, guys, in this, thank you for this awesome series. I have a question for Cotton. When you talk about the weight of the move, and if you have a city, my SEO, with a difficulty of 42, how heavy is that move? That's about that's probably about 7-8 months heavy. That's Chicago SEO is like 49, so you're looking at probably Miami SEO being number 1 for Miami SEO. So it's a pretty steep. I mean, 42 is nothing to lay down and and smile at. 50 and above. In the 50s is there. 60s is really crazy, and when you get in the 70s, that's when you got to pack a lunch right there. So, but 42 is not that easy. It just isn't. Wouldn't you agree, Joe?
Yeah, no, that's more on the a little bit more difficult side for sure.
Sure. When you get to 40 and above, that's when it gets a little sticky. So we will go to the next. You know what, Joe? Hold on. Let's see here. Let me see if there's another question here. There's a lot of PBNs. How is assimilation light training different or similar to Fletch's new 101 series? I have no idea. I haven't listened to it. Guys, Steven is even going to come out with a chronological series about stuff. Just be lucky that you have multiple avenues to learn. So that's what I would do. I would listen to all of them. You know, I wish I had this much information in front of me 2.5 years ago. You know, that I had me walking me through every step, that I had Fletch, that I had Steven, that I had Joe, that I had Greg, that I had all these out there. So look at it as it's, you know, some of you guys might, Stevens is going to fill more the gaps of what this is. We move very quickly here. We move very quickly. This brushes over stuff, kind of gets you guys moving as quickly as possible with the bare bones. We can dig in a lot deeper in a lot of this stuff, but I want you guys to progress and understand as quickly as possible. Fletch is going to be a little bit more in depth, and you might understand a whole lot more listening to him than you would me. He might fill in the gaps. That's what all these different series are for, is to fill the gaps in. Simulation light is really to get you moving as quickly as possible. The other ones are when you really want some just kind of more in-depth training with it. But I would go through all of them. I think you're crazy not to. So, Joe, I think we're ready for some hot seats.
All right.
One more question here. Hey, Cotton, I noticed your website has a lot of similar pages for city SEO. No, it doesn't. So, guys, you need to, if you're going to be in SEO, you really, really, really need to pay close attention. I don't have any pages that have the exact content. So look at them closer. So we've already went over this before, I think. So whoever you want, Joe.
Well, I mean, let's see who wants to come on. I guess we have to see who wants to who wants to come on a hot seat, man. We got anybody just posting here hot seat?
Who wants it?
Maybe let us know what you want to talk about and whatever. I think, man, nobody wants a hot seat.
No, I don't think so, Joe.
I think. All right. Well, we don't have to do them.
Yeah, we don't.
Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're too nervous.
Yeah. Maybe that moon crystal lady's on. We can bring her on.
Oh, moon. Yeah. Oh, that's right. She was. Yeah, that's right. I don't see her on here anyway.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, if you want to come on, post it in the Facebook group. I see. I guess we'll bring Dante on. He's the only one that posted in there.
We got in the Facebook group. Bob Marks always wants on here. Bob, you're banned, man. You're on too much. You're too successful too fast. Not only that, but, you know, there's only one way that, Bob, answer me this right down here, and I might bring you on. Who's your favorite baseball team? I want you to post that right now. I want to see. Bob, I need to know. I need to make sure. Who's your favorite baseball team, Bob? Come on. I need to see it. I need to see it. You'd say? Well, you better know for sure.
You gotta commit.
He don't like baseball? Joe, we can't bring him on. He lives in St. Louis, and he didn't say go Cardinals.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Well,
from my hometown, man. From my hometown. He couldn't represent.
Look, Dante likes the Yankees.
Bring on Dante. He wants to. He'd bring him on. He wants to know.
Yeah, he posted. He was the first one to post anyway when everybody else was kind of sleeping. Let's see.
Damn it, Bob.
He's from St. Louis, huh? Bob's from your hometown.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't realize that till over the weekend that Bob is from St. Louis. He lives right by my buddy Mark.
All right, let's bring Dante on here. Hey, Dante. You there? We got you unmuted, so.
Edward really doesn't want to come on. Look. Right here, Joe. He doesn't want to come on.
Go Cubs. At looks like Dante, his mic's not working or something, so we got to pick somebody else.
You know what? We will, see what Bob wants. See what Bob wants.
All right, let's bring Bob on.
Even though I'm very disappointed.
He has his name all in caps, so we can't miss him. So
of course. Of course.
Awesome.
What's up, man?
You know what's even worse? I don't like baseball. My dad gave me a bat from Stan Musial.
Wow.
That's in the Hall of Fame with my name under the plaque as donating it. I know, and I don't even like baseball.
How could you, man? Stan the man. He's the greatest Cardinal ever.
Yeah. Well, I had to donate his bat to the Hall of Fame.
Would have donated it on my wall. That's what I would have done. So,
all right, so here, quick question. I've got a little bit of heavy competition that I'm wondering about. They have Ahrefs, URL rating 80, domain rating 66.
That's pretty steep, man. What about it?
Well, I'm wondering, is that even worth going after?
What type of niche is it?
Specifically, it's spine health.
It's not that in St. Louis. You must be going after a national keyword.
Yeah, right.
Right. So they want to do that, and I wouldn't. What's the traffic on the keyword they want to go after?
They got.
In other words,
they got a list of five or six.
1,000?
No, keywords. Just 5 or 6.
Right. But what I'm saying is the hunt worth the trophy? What I'm saying is, what's the traffic behind the main keyword?
Okay. All right.
You see what I'm saying?
I guess I don't. Well, no, I don't.
Yeah, you need to dig into that because, for instance, I just signed. I don't even care to say this. So, Bob Proctor is my client, and Bob Proctor wants to go after motivational quotes. Well, motivational quotes is up there. It's in the 70s. So, but the hunt is worth the trophy. There's 90,000 searches for that every month.
Yeah.
So you have to tell your client that it's going to take a long time to get there. Joe, I would say with something that high, you're literally looking at 15, 16 months. Wouldn't you say so, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty competitive.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty high. And let me ask you this. Is he going after is any kind of lawsuit? Like, is it like, because a lot of times there's these keywords for health, stuff like that, or knee injury, and they're like these lawsuit type keywords where they're trying to get like a tort.
No, spinehealth.com is like a doctor referral site, so it's super specific.
Got it.
I get a team of spine docs, all want to pitch in, total of $370 to get it done.
How much a month?
No, it's $370,000.
Oh, to get it done.
To get it done.
Oh, but that's easy. But they need to be aware that it's going to take a year and a half.
Well, that's what. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. No. Do it. Dude, look.
Is it something where you can even go city by city or state by state also? Like.
Oh yeah.
So if you start ranking in cities and states, that's going to build up the authority of your site. So you're still going to get traffic coming in.
Exactly.
Localized to where the doctor is, and it's going to help the main site go for your main keyword.
Yeah. Okay. So that was my last question. Should I go local SEO underneath the main site? Sounds like yes.
Yeah. What do you say again? I'm like, sorry, you broke up.
No, that's all right. So I'll go city by city, state by state, pages inside or underneath the.
How many cities do they want to go after?
All the major ones, man. So we're talking about more than 150.
And where's their 87 at? I don't get it because you're not going to get that in cities. I think you might be confused on what you want to do. If we don't want to go after the main one, what you would want to do is first to get them happy is you would pick a city that they want to be in where the competition would be the lowest and just get that ranked fairly quickly and then go after another one and then another one and another one. And that's going to build it up. I wouldn't go after all cities at once. That's crazy.
Right, but the end result is they want to be outranking this this competitive site overall. So start out with city by city, state by state.
I don't want to take up a lot of time with this. Just message me and I'll like go through it with you on
Okay.
personal message. It just makes it a lot easier. This is a lot more complicated than you think it is. So but it's very doable. And for that type of money, anything is possible. I can outrank whitehouse.gov with 360K.
Okay.
Can't you, Joe?
Oh yeah, easy, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's a lot of money. I mean, you can do a lot with that.
Oh,
so.
dude, you have no idea what you can do with that money. Yeah.
No. I know what to do with the money. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No. I'm like talking about getting it built. It's not only that, but the referrals you can get off of it. If you do this right, you can literally get everything ranked for about 100K easy, and you're going to pocket 250K. You're going to make over $2 million off of all the referrals from this. So just by getting this done right and getting everything set up right, you could earn, $2 or $3 million off of this altogether with everything included.
That's the anticipation.
Yeah.
Right now, I just want to check for 370,000. I think that'd be pretty cool.
You know what? I wouldn't even do that. I would honestly make them sign a contract and just have them drip that money out. It'll make them feel better too. But if they want to cut you that check for that amount of money, it's just a lot of money to pay taxes on at once.
I got taxes handled. I'm not worried about that. I like to get paid up front.
Yeah.
I mean, you could build that to just bring in massive traffic where even if you don't outrank a site for a keyword, if you do it right, you'll bring in so much traffic that that's what it's about. They want the phone ringing.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, if they're 2 or 3, and if they're making so much money that their eyes are in the back of their heads, it's just as long as you get a ton of traffic and a ton of phone rings, you're going to be all right. But
their average spinal surgery is close to 170,000. These guys do 20 of them a month.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Sure. Yep, that's good stuff, man. I like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Come to think of it, that's going to get 300. I'm trying to think. I've been with me now for 12 times 5. Yeah, my clients. I have one that pays me $55 a month, but it's a little different. So, yeah, just message me tomorrow. We'll go through it.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. All right. Great.
All right. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good hot seat right there.
Yeah, it was. Deals like that can be worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's a lot of ways to get traffic to it. A lot of ways. So. Sure.
Who else wants to be on, guys? Let's put down hot seat, guys. Come on, let's get it going. You have your opportunity, guys. I'm being serious when I say this. Remember, you can't get Joe Marfolio one-on-one. You can't. You can't get me one-on-one. I'm $10,000 before I even do a one-on-one. That's why I don't do one-on-ones, because no one will pay it. And then if someone did pay it, I'd just move it up to 25. So you could get on the hot seat right now. Who wants to get on? You know what?
Let's do it, man.
You know what? Caitlin wants to get on here. Let's throw her on.
Okay. Caitlin Hayes. All right. Hey, Caitlin.
Hi, gentlemen. Good evening. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good.
I'm well, thanks. So I am busting my butt to reach out to attorneys. I'm an attorney, and I know it's a big niche because, ironically, a lot of lawyers don't even have websites. Sure. Forget about SEO. So I've been attorneys and reaching to ascertain their need. And obviously, I don't know if you have any attorneys as clients. There's a little resistance, but I'm marketing towards that. Lawyers Gone Google is my website, and I'm kind of marketing towards the SEO people can maybe take advantage of you, or kind of what is it? Predatorily target you, because lawyers, you know, it's a funny bunch, right? They're a little slow sometimes when it comes to tech, and but when it comes to SEO, obviously most of them don't even know anything about it at all.
Sure.
So if you have any suggestions as to closing those, I would really appreciate them.
I mean, I have over 50 lawyers as clients, so it's my biggest. If there's a niche that I'm involved in, it would probably be my biggest one.
Really?
Yeah.
And what? And you get them from trade? Sure.
No, not at all. It's real difficult for me to people to understand how I do business, because I strictly don't have to go anywhere right now. I've got so many referrals, so many people know about my business that I have to turn business away. But when I first started out, what I would always do is that I have to find an in. A lot of these lawyers show up at different functions and different things and are always at charities. And when you go to these larger law firms, and I've been able to close, they always have a lot of charity events with their clients. And they generally host them somewhere, and they list them on their websites. And I was able to show up at these events, get to know them, and then able to close them. So with that, that's like one way to do it. Another way is just to ultimately send them an email, and just loss of revenue is very powerful with lawyers. Lawyers are very prideful. They're very competitive. Obviously, it's a competitive business, just like search engine optimization is. So when you sit and tell them how much money they're losing to their competitors, and you're able to get them in this situation, you got verifiable proof that you can do it, they listen. They listen. It's just a matter of getting them the right person to open it up. There's a lot of different ways. But once you got one attorney, they all just seem to kind of fall into place. It's really not that hard after that, especially with you being an attorney yourself. You automatically know. I was able to, and I really don't even know if I even want to share this or not, but my client just closed a $78 million settlement off one of my leads.
See, that's interesting. Yeah, and they could give you marketing fees for it. There's always this. Right. I mean, I'm interested. I practice too. I practice law in New York, and that's fine. Right. So there's always like interesting. Do you get a kickback marketing for that?
No, you're in New York City.
Yeah, well, I'm outside of New York, but yeah, I practice in New York.
I don't want to say. I hate saying this, and I don't want to take this the wrong way. That's a different animal there. I've seen people that have thought they were going to kill it and moved to New York City and thought they were going to kill it with SEO because it's New York City, and they thought they were amazing, and they fell flat on their face. It's just a way to where they don't take solicitations well. It's a way to where it's a little bit more difficult to get past the gatekeeper and a lot of stuff. What I've encouraged a lot of people that were in New York City and they took my advice and they got a tremendous amount of successes is go to cities with lesser competition, like a Louisville, Kentucky, or a Lexington, or Biloxi, Mississippi, or something like that. Once you solicit these law firms there, or places like Bob and I are at, or where Bob is at now, I used to be, St. Louis. My client was in St. Louis, got a $78 million settlement off one of the leads. So being in lower tier cities, the solicitation is a little less, and they're a little bit more likely to listen than around New York City. I would assume that lawyers there, and you would know better than I would, the amount of solicitations that you get from marketing on a daily basis. So what you want to do is reverse engineer things. This is what I do when I research and development. I want to sit and think, and you would know this better than me. I'm not a lawyer. How would you want to be approached? What would get your attention? What would get you to listen? How would you want to be approached? And you start from there, and then you walk it backwards, and that's how you come up with what you're doing. And I haven't cold called lawyers in about a year and a half, but that's how sales work. You just got to find a way. You say, you know what, this would work for me. If it wouldn't work for you, assume it's not going to work for another attorney. And so look at all the solicitations that you get in. I would listen to some of the solicitations and see if you can't piece them together and find something that you can use. And this is how I do a lot of my research. I don't ever hang up on a sales call. That's like one of the main things that I want to tell you guys right now is when you get calls about SEO and other stuff, don't hang up on the call. Listen to what they're saying. You might pull something out. You can listen and learn everywhere. So with that, I would take that of how they're hitting you and get what's working and how you would like to be approached and how you would do it. But you're going to be the level of difficulty. If it's a 6 in Louisville, Kentucky, you're going to be an 8 in New York City on a level of difficulty, getting through gatekeepers and getting attorneys' attention with the level of aggressiveness that they're getting solicited on a daily basis.
And I've been going through bar associations going that way. So I have a follow-up question for you, please.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If somebody is there and there's a lot more bewilderment and everyone thinks everyone's bullshit, talking, everything else. So if I am going to do this with an attorney based in, let's say, Nevada, I don't know, I'm just choosing that for a different time zone.
Sure.
Can I do the same, because my IP address now, even though I use Turo a lot, which is just like, am I able to successfully engineer SEO for them when I'm not in their locale for their IP?
Absolutely.
So does it matter?
I've got clients all over the world. Believe this or not, I live in Orlando. I don't have one client in Orlando. So even though I'm number 1 for Orlando SEO, I don't have one client here. I prefer not to, actually. So no, you can do SEO wherever you want. Doesn't matter. So you're 100% safe. One advice that I would give you, a good way to hit attorneys, which is what I had a tremendous amount of success with, is there is always Facebook pages for law schools of different universities. And if you can find a way to get inside of those and start talking to different people or reaching out to them through Facebook and LinkedIn, or reverse find them through LinkedIn and reach out to them that way, you might have some success as well.
And I patient with it too, but I really appreciate your feedback here. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Joe, we got time for a couple more, then we'll get to it.
All right, couple more hot seats. Who else should we bring on? Let me go on here and see.
She's breaking up. She's breaking up a lot. I couldn't understand a lot of what was being said.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
It's all good. Guys, who wants to be on? Joseph seems like he's pretty insistent.
Joseph, who? Baffy?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can find him.
Man, I was hoping that the Moon Crystal girl would come back.
What's her name? I forgot her name.
I don't know.
If she's on, she could come on. She just has to put Moon Crystal in the hashtag Moon Crystal.
Talking about worshiping moon crystals and stuff. I don't know.
I don't see. And the problem is people's names don't match up. EF. Hold on. Joe, Jody. Yeah, I don't see him in here. So he's got to tell me what his name is on the webinar, because it ain't.
Yeah, Joseph. Unfortunately, if you're listed as P Diddy, we don't know that that's you. So let's just go with the top one up.
You are
Joshua Hudson seems like he says dude, he said he's about ready to have a baby. He wants to get on here.
He's an extreme newbie.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's extreme.
Oh, here he is. Okay, I found Joseph Baffy just now, but let's bring on Hudson.
Okay.
Hey,
how's
Joshua.
it going?
Good.
Hey, what's up? So like I said, extreme newbie here. And I've got a question about a PBN that I bought. I ran it through Ahrefs, and let's see, it's telling me here it's got a domain rating of 42 and the URL rating of 7, link, and 1 referring domain. And at the same time, when I run it through Majestic, it's telling me that it has a trust flow of 46 and a citation flow of 36. And those numbers seem way too high to have a, one backlink. I don't know what's going on.
How many backlinks for Majestic?
Well, it says when I have www dot it's Excel point is what it's called. www. It's nothing.
So you've checked them on both sides. You've checked them on the HTTP and you checked on the www on both Ahrefs and Majestic.
Right. Yeah. When I type in it's excelpoint.com, it gives me www, and then the same thing without it, and they're worlds apart. And I don't know which one I bought. And
you've only got one. You've only got one link, no matter what you do, right?
Right.
There's only one backlink.
On Majestic, it says 222 external backlinks.
Have you checked to see if those backlinks are live? Have you clicked on them or put them in the browser to see if they're there and the link is actually there in Majestic? Or does it say that they're removed?
Let me see here.
I'm gonna go with Ahrefs on this one, and if it says you've got one live backlink, I'm willing to bet that's all you got.
Right, but then the ratings are still super high.
No, not really, because what happens is they only have one to go off of.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kind of
okay,
if you,
cool.
If you take a test and you score an A on it, you're an A student, even though you just took the first test. But if you start taking 100 tests,
right,
grade starts coming down. So that's my best explanation that I can give.
So when I buy,
yeah, and
in the future,
too, just make sure that your www dot and your non-www dot are two. It's all the same domain.
Right.
And when you build your WordPress site, you can put the www dot in there. So if your www dot's getting more links, one thing may happen too is that when links were made for the site, they put the www dot into it.
Right. Let me just kind of show you really quick here. So let's just take my site for example. We're going to go here. It'll get here in a second. Hold on. I don't know why it's running slow. Maybe I can bring up Majestic faster. Okay. So I'm just going to use this because it came up first. So let's just do cottongrammar.com right here, and we can put this in, and we can look at it, and it's got a 25 trust flow, or why it's running this slow. But it's got a 26, 28. Then we can go historic, and it's got a 34, 27. But watch this. I go www.cottongrammar.com. Now, one of the things that we've never went over is this. This is a subdomain. This means it's a subdomain. This, even though it's the same site, this right here, cottongrammar.com, is a flipped version of it. So anytime there's a dot in front of something, it's a subdomain. So always remember that. Like I have a page, SEO, cottongrammar.com. I have a subdomain right here, and you can see that it's got 13,000 links. This is a subdomain. This is a subdomain. So what Joe's saying is, whichever has the highest is where you want to set up your WordPress on, which would be this right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that everybody's very, very, very clear with that. Go back to the Facebook group. Do you understand anytime you have a period here and there's something in front of it, it's a subdomain. Just give me hashtag clear. Just give me hashtag clear. want to make sure that everyone's with me. If you don't understand it, just tell me, give me hashtag explain. I just want to make sure that we're not losing anybody on this. This is pretty important. So it looks like we're getting a lot of clears here. Want to make sure that we're getting a lot of clears here. So everyone understands it. There's no one that needs me to explain it again. So it's pretty simple. This is anytime the site has anything in front of it. Test. We can do that. Anything. www. It can be Joe. I can make a subdomain Joe. Like this on my website right now. You can make an unlimited number of subdomains, and these are treated as a different website, except for the www. It's a different subdomain, but this is the natural site. This is the root, and this is how I build my sites like this. So hopefully that helps you out when you're doing research.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's perfect.
Great.
And I have one more quick question.
Sure.
It was an affiliate question. I was playing around with affiliate sites, and I tried making. I bought a domain, and I got a GoDaddy creator, and I just don't know how to use it. And I've Googled everything, and I haven't made any citations to it, no links. But I have 200 views in the past 10 days, and I don't understand why that's happening, or even, how to use it. So, can you explain that for me?
Joe, if he wasn't breaking up for you, go ahead and handle that. He was breaking up a lot for me.
Yeah. So for the their website creator is, that's for like really like basic stuff. You want to install WordPress, build a WordPress site on it. As far as you getting 200 views to your site, you got to see where they're coming from. So if you have analytics installed on it, or I don't know, how do you know you got 200 views to the site?
It gives statistics that come with it. It comes with GoDaddy Website Builder.
Yeah,
it tells me.
Yeah, so who knows where those are coming from, and if they're even real or what. So what I would do is, I would just build it on a WordPress. It's not going to affect anything, even if you sent links to it. It's not going to affect the domain at all. Just put a WordPress site on that domain and build it out normally like we show you. GoDaddy, don't get any of GoDaddy's extra. None of their SEO packages or site builder packages or whatever they're offering. It's garbage.
Mm-hmm. Joe's right.
All right, cool.
100% right.
All right, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, guys.
Cool.
All right. You know what I compare it to? It's like this. When I was in construction, you have the homeowner tools, his homeowner hammer and saw and everything else, and then you have the contractors. My toolbox is way different than the homeowner. And basically GoDaddy is like, their services are like homeowner services, is what I'd compare them to.
Right.
Not professional.
Totally agree. We're still early. How much time do you need to go over your stuff, Joe? We got time for one more, or should we jump into the last one?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got time for another one.
Cool. All right, guys. Let's. Look, we have a GoDaddy customer service support specialist right here with us.
Oh, really? Where?
Amanda Mack, right here.
Oh! She answers support calls for 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go,
man.
You know what I like is how you were going to answer my support questions about your $240 SEO package that they're selling. That's great stuff. So good stuff. She said it drained her soul. It drained her soul.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I couldn't imagine. I don't have the patience for that. I'd be going nuts. All right.
Exactly.
Oh, listen. Oh, here's Joseph Baffy. We said we were going to bring him on.
No, he's found his mic. Just when I thought we were going to bring on Moon Crystal Girl.
Well, I can get couple crystals and some other cool stuff I can dig up.
There you go.
Okay, guys. Great webinar. Thanks a lot.
You got it.
Sure.
You may have answered part of this question already for me. I have a branded website, Bathman Media. I have feeling the need to create specifically named local city websites. I'm going to call them websites because I don't know what else to call them. I would like to know if I could create, local city A SEO, B SEO, C SEO, and have it be a part of my website without having to list all those little local cities in my. Does that make any sense yet?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what my site is. So cottongrammar.com is.
I noticed.
Yeah. It's
And
you just don't list them on the menu. That's it. That's all.
I just put them in page. I make new pages. Hit publish.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what you're basically asking is a menu question. Hey, Cotton, I don't want to list all these places. Then just don't put it on the menu. That's it.
Yeah, I don't want them on the menu because it looks easy as hell.
Right. No, I don't do that. Like if you noticed, we can go over here and we can look, and we're going to get into this a little bit later. I do put inner pages down to my most popular cities. So it bleeds link juice. We'll like get into this in about a month and a half, a couple months of why I do this. It's an SEO reason, not this has zero to do. I want to really explain this. This has zero to do with listing a menu of the cities I'm in. Everything to do with powering these pages up. So
that is exactly where the angle that I was coming from, and I didn't separate website 5 times the amount of stuff and not have it interconnected with the main site that I'm ranking.
Sure, you can do that.
Okay.
Just leave it off the menu. It's an easy question, and then
Excellent.
we will go through in about a month, 2 months, why it's important to have those down at the bottom. So
excellent, very good, guys. Thanks a lot. I already have all.
Sure.
I didn't know what the heck to do. You got a lot of fans of your giggle, Joseph.
All right, well, that's good to know.
A lot of fans, Joe. Sexy Joe Marfolio. You got a lot of fans.
That's it, man. Sexy Joe.
Guys, give me hashtag sexy for Joe. Give me hashtag sexy. You know what, guys? This is what I want. This is what I want to do. I might give a reward if someone can Photoshop Joe's head on one of the Magic Mike guys, one of the strippers. You can do that. I just might give you some one-on-one training.
Whoa. Oh, man.
It's coming, Joe. You better hope Dave Keys ain't on here. Dave will whip that up in a second.
I'm sure, yeah, dude.
Moonrock girl, if you're around, we need you to put Joe's head on a stripper body. If Moon Crystal girl is around. It's going to be our mysterious Joe. We're going to search for her forever until we find her.
I know. I wish I remember what her name was.
I know, dude. She just wants to rub crystals all over herself.
That's it. That's it, man.
Exactly. Elizabeth said you are way sexy.
Way sexy. There you go.
Sexy Joe. Oh, they're coming in, Joe. Left and right. Even the guys. Woo! Edward says you're the hottie. Yeah. Joe, you're pulling them from both sides, man. Dude.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying there's no pictures that showed up yet.
Joe, you don't play for no team, man. You play for all teams, man.
Oh, no. One team. 2-member team, me and my wife.
Oh, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff here. Let's do one more. Please, Moon Crystal Girl, if you're out there, put hot seat right down here. I want to ask. I've got some questions for you. So, guys, if nobody wants to be on the hot seat, we will move on. We're going to give it about 15 seconds, and we need you to reply.
I don't see anybody wanting no hot seats.
Wow, nobody.
Let's see here.
Everybody's good. Oh, but we just brought him on last week. Hold on.
Awesome,
Let me make sure that we're updating this appropriately. Let me make sure we're updating.
I had a few people here, maybe in the question box here.
Let me refresh this the right way to make sure that we're right. Hold on here.
Oh, I think people probably might be posting an OMG Wade.
Oh, we got.
That guy looks like I'm peeking in the background.
looks like you photobombed it, man. Joe, I've always knew that you would look good in the tie, my friend. I always did.
That's it, man. That's it. Oh man, many years ago.
Definitely, guys. If there's I'm not even going to tell him to go back and listen to that assimilation. It was the best. We have right here. Oh, wow. He said he thinks that Crystal Girl's name is Jennifer from what he remembers in the recording. Oh, wow. We're one step closer to solving this mystery.
We got our first clue, Jennifer.
Oh, man. We will look. Well, Joe, let's bring on, who is up here? Gnarly guy saying give Martin a chance. Who's Martin? You know what? Bring on Martin, but I already know what he's going to talk about. He already asked the question. He's going to ask that big long client question. But we'll bring him on anyway. We'll already bring him on anyway.
All right.
Bring him on anyway. It's going to be the same answer that we gave on the question that we gave there. The answer is not going to change. So we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
He's the one that said he messaged you.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we get this stupid thing's freaking out here? I don't know. You might have to unmute him. I don't even know what's going on right now.
You know what we can do? We're going to have a lot of questions when we get done with this. We might be able to spend 5 or 10 minutes answering some questions. Why don't you just jump into the lesson right now? We've been doing questions for an hour and 20 minutes. So that's good enough. Let's just jump into the lesson and get going from there. And what we'll do is we're going to start off. Guys, what we're going to talk about tonight is pretty simple. It's going to be hosting. And it's one of the things that baffles a lot of people when they get into SEO, especially when they first start out. Once you get it down, you're going to be good, but it's just learning it. The reason it's so hard to learn is that different hosts look a little bit different. They're not identical or uniform all the way across. Some have a little bit of a different terminology. Some have different menus. Some have different things to get in there in the same way. But what we're going to do tonight is, Joe, you've got a pretty special lesson planned for us. And then at the end of the webinar, now this is one of these things, I don't want 1 million questions. If you missed the webinar and you're listening to this on the replay, hunt for it. Don't post about it. I'm going to give you guys a list. How would you guys like? And you know what I'm going to do right here? Oh, there's more. Look.
What's that? Oh, that's terrible, man. That's Chris Farley right there.
Wow, we got it going on, Joe. Look at that.
There you go, man.
What I want to see is this, guys. Well, clicked on the wrong one. This is what I want. Guys, we have 321 people on this webinar. This is what I want. I want hashtag 500 And if I get, before Joe is done with this lesson, if I see 300 hashtag 500s, there we go, Joe, look.
That's just wrong.
Right. Guys, I'm going to tell you how valuable it is what I'm going to give you. How would you guys like to have a list of 500 hosting companies and you don't have to search around for them? How would you like that? That means everyone needs to participate. We need to get at least 300 hashtag 500s. At the end of the webinar, I will give you a list of 500 hosting companies, which will take you all the way up to 500 PBNs. It's impossible. You won't have to search around. You won't have to do anything. I will drop this list after the webinar. And you're right. There are thousands out there, but you're going to have to search for them. I've done all the work for you to where you can just go off this list and it's just handed to you. You're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to just get a hosting company and just boom, go from there. So Joe, while they're continuing to do this, I'll be counting these up while you're doing it. If you want to take the screen and go over, Joe's got some pretty powerful stuff he's going to go over. Take it away, Joe.
Okay, let me move some stuff around here, and let me see if I can take the screen. All right. So let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see it, Joe. I can see it.
I'll really take you through how to just get a hosting account, and also how I keep my records for my hosting account. For my PBNs. One thing that I've done is I've really pretty much systemized how I create PBNs. I got my outsourcers down to, it takes them to 2 hours to create this and everything. But this is kind of like the first step. The first step is making sure all your information, is in one place. So I'll go through this, and you guys could ask questions later if you want. So the first thing I do is I have a domain. It's 2002cn.com. So we just bought this domain. So the first thing that I always do is I create a persona, for this domain, or I create like a fictitious person. And the reason I do this is because when you have the who is for the domain, the contact information, Google can see all that. And even when I create the hosting, and I want to use the same name. So what I'll do is very first thing I do is I go to something like fake name generator, and it's just fakenamegenerator.com. You can Google it. If you hit generate, you're going to see it gives you a name, it gives you an address, and it gives you a phone number and a bunch of other information. So what I use from here is, and then I'll also use the phone number. So what we do is we go here to my spreadsheet, and I put the information right here. I'll put the blog owner's name, and I'll put the address, and I'll put the phone number. So the next step, what I do is when we look here at the contact information, now I already did that for this because I started this before. This right here, right? The blog owner's name, which is, I think it was Mary Nash was her name or whatever. So, and the phone number and everything, and I keep this, for my records, right? And once I have her information done, I go back here, and the ways you can do this. Whenever you change the whois information for GoDaddy and I think Namecheap also, they're going to make you verify the name change with, they're going to send out an email. So if I edit these contacts, if I hit edit the contacts and I change any information here, especially in the email, is they're going to make me confirm it, or they're going to kind of lock me out of the domain until it gets with GoDaddy, with Namecheap, and a lot of these other registrars, they will give you free email forwards. So what I do is I go in and I create an email forward right away. Okay. So as you can see, I have an email forward here. It's a catch-all, and it forwards to my main email address. So actually, get the domain. It's in my GoDaddy account. I create the email forward, and then I go back and I change the whois information. So in that order, and then obviously I record everything. So now I have my domain in here. I confirm the whois. We're all good to go. The next thing I want to do is I want to get some hosting. Now, like Cotton said, if you guys give you a list of you register and set up hosting. Let's just go to HostGator. They're all going to be very similar. Most of them will use what's called a cPanel, and a cPanel is just like a dashboard, where you can manage the hosting account. Some do not have a cPanel, like GoDaddy. I don't think has a cPanel. And some panic if you can't find the cPanel, because everything I'm going to show you, you're going to be able to do with any other hosting account. And if you get stuck, all these hosting accounts have support. You could call them, email them, or even do like a chat, like a support chat. But so let's say I'm ready to find some hosting. I go over here to HostGator, and I want to get some WordPress hosting. So I just click some different options. Actually, for GoDaddy, I want to go to web hosting. So you go to web hosting, and we can choose a plan. We got this one here is $278 a month. This baby plan is $398 a month. You could really, for a PBN, if you're just going to put one site on one hosting account, you can just get this small hatchling plan. You go for the monthly. If you want to pay monthly, it's a little more. If you want to pay by the year, it's less. So we hit this, sign up now. So now when you go to sign up, you're going to have two options. It's going to say register a new domain, or I already own a domain. So this has tripped people up before, they'll go here. You don't want to register a new domain. You have a domain. You don't need HostGator to be your registrar. You have it. Do with this domain, and we're gonna go back here. We're gonna put it right in to enter your domain right there, and then we're gonna choose a plan. This is the plan we're gonna choose. It's gonna ask for a username, so let's just say okay, the username here, and it's asking for a 4-digit code. Let's do this. We'll just do a 4-digit code. What I do here is I will put in the information that I have here. Okay, so I'm going to put in my email address, which was Mary, at this right here. Let me just go. Hold on one second. All right. So so basically all the information that's going in here is going to be I don't know, getting up. Probably because I already registered this domain before the webinar, so it may be throwing something up right here because I already got the hosting account because I didn't want anything to hang me up. So basically what you would do is when you enter your billing information, you would put Mary here, Nash here, you would put the address that you have in your spreadsheet, and you'd put the phone number that you have in the spreadsheet right there. I always pay, anyway, I don't I unclick all of these things. I do not want any, I don't want any of these HostGator services. I don't need any of them. And you'll see here the first month is going to be $438. Now, with HostGator, what they don't tell you is every month after that is going to be $10.95, right? But if you fill all this out like I told you, you hit I agree, and you hit GoDaddy, and you say, I got this 2 hours ago. The email takes, sometimes it comes at 10, 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't always come right away. But once you get this email, this is everything you need to set up your website. So you're going to see you have your control panel, which is where your cPanel is, your password, all the stuff you need. So what I'll do is we take all this information, and as soon as I get it, I put it right into my, here, I put it right into my spreadsheet. And guys, what I'm using here, this is actually a OneDrive sheet. You get a OneDrive account for free, and it's an Excel spreadsheet that I share with my outsourcers because they'll go and they'll do all this. But dynamic change it'll change. So that's it. So I'm just going to put all my information. This is important. What a lot of people don't do is they don't record this information right away, and that's where the hang-up is when you don't know where your information is, then you spend a lot of time looking for it. So I got this here. Now the other thing that we have that they sent us are these names. And name servers is how our hosting account, find this thing, how the hosting speaks to our registrar. So put the name servers in here. Got too many things open.
You know what I would do if I was you guys? I would make sure that for the next, and Joe, let's leave it right here for about 15, 20 seconds. Guys, if you need to take a screenshot of this, do it. You need to set up your Excel sheet looking like this. So I want to make sure that all you guys get a screenshot of this, or you better hope that this thing records right on the replay. So do you want to depend on the replay recording right? Get a screenshot right now. This is the most important part about what Joe's showing you. Guys, I track like a demon. That is one of the things that I do. I track everything from trust flow, DA, DR, UL, everything. So when I know when things move up or down or everything, the time of the day I posted, everything. Tracking data is crucial to SEO success. And Joe's showing you how to get it right here. So I would make sure that you can get a screenshot of everything that's going on right here while you can.
Yeah, because you definitely want to keep and more PBNs. If you're not organized and have everything in one place, it's going to be a nightmare. If you have one site and you don't know what the persona is for that site, or you don't know where it's hosted, you don't know anything. I mean, on this sheet I have everything. So right here, the host is going to be HostGator, right? The registrar is going to be GoDaddy. Information's going to be right here. I even have the IP because I like to track, even though I'm getting different hosting accounts, I also will, it's very important, and I know what the server IP is and that I track that. So we're going to put that right over here, okay? So here's another thing. Now, this is a sheet, I actually use a spreadsheet for my outsourcers, and have them check the before, is they find out which one has the more links, and that's the way they set it up. So, so it's all there on the spreadsheet. So once we sign up, right? Once we get signed up, this is what we get. Okay, this is just a regular GoDaddy hosting account where we can install WordPress here. And, we got software services. You can do it in a couple areas. You go to quick install, and it gives you choices to go in, and you just hit WordPress. And look, they're saying you don't want to pay for anything, nothing, just install a free WordPress, and then you go through here and put in your information. Now, when you put it, that's where these name servers come in. Okay, so these name servers, actually, you take these and you put them in your GoDaddy account right here where it says name server. Close it out. And we're going to manage this, right? And we're going to put in custom name server, and it's going to point our domain away from GoDaddy, and it's going to point us to HostGator. So that's it. We're going to put that in there, and right here, and we're going to add. Now, what has to happen is it doesn't happen right away. A lot of times it has to propagate. So, I mean, sometimes the name servers, will switch over. Hours. It just really, but once we have that pointing, we go back to this quick install. We could put in right in here we put in the domain name, and then we just put in the admin email and everything we would normally do. We can say the admin user, whatever, right, last name, and each install is going to ask for different things in different ways. Okay, so don't get freaked out if you go and it doesn't look exactly like this. You got to kind of explore a little bit and just figure things out if it's not exactly there. And then the other thing you do is you just put your block title in here, whatever you want it to be. And then no thanks, and that's it. So, and then it should install the WordPress. Now, let me go back to here. So I don't know. I mean, that's about it. Now, there are other hosting accounts. There was another account I signed up for, which was called A Small Orange. Which what I can do is I can actually log into the account, and I can show you what their cPanel looks like. Let's see if I have the.
You know what, Joe? I got one up I can show real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me drag it over because I knew what you were going to do. Let me grade it over. Let me just show this real quick. So this is what a normal generic cPanel looks like. Guys, give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Want to make sure you can see it. Just make sure. Great. So, guys, this is what a normal plain-looking cPanel. GoDaddy and HostGator are going to be a little more fancy with how it looks, but generally, every cPanel pretty much looks like this. This is the standard. They're all going to look, I would say, 90% of them are going to look just like this. Wouldn't you say so, Joe?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of them are going to look.
Yeah. So what happens is when you want to install WordPress, guys, it's easy. You just come down here and you look for the WordPress icon and you find it, or if you can't find it, this is making it challenging for me right here. Then it looks here. You can
just
look.
Go down.
Right. Right here. It's always an app installer or something else right here. You see there's a WordPress icon right here you can look for. You just click on that and install it. That's it. You would just follow it. And let's just say that I wanted to do this right here. You can choose anything right here. You're going to put the site in there. You want to get rid of the directory. You don't want the directory there. You're going to put the name of the site in. You're going to put the title, your passwords, all this other stuff. And you can even do an entry-level theme or even send this to yourself and just hit install. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. And on a WordPress site, your emails also to forward emails and all that other stuff is always going to be right up in here. Also, creating an email account is pretty simple. You would just put in here cotton, and hit enter with a password and everything. That's all you would do. Then you would go over to the forwards or right here to the forwards, add your forwards right here. So if you had a forward that you wanted to send all your email to, you would just simply add a forward. It's not that hard. You'd put the email address in here, which that's mine. Go down here, add forward, and it's done. But pretty much they all are going to be identical to this. Identical. So anything you want to add about this, Joe?
Yeah, and the one to a different hosting account, everything gets switched over, emails, everything else. So that email forward that we created in GoDaddy, it no longer works. You're gonna have to recreate it in the cPanel if you still want that email forward to work.
Yeah.
So basically, you're moving everything over to the hosting.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to do subdomains like we talked about, it's just like this. Click on the subdomain, and it's pretty simple. We can do a Joe, and we can hit create. And now it's pretty. You just click on it, and then you would put WordPress on it. So I'll just let it go ahead and create it. And once it creates it, we would just go down there and just choose the app plugin at the very bottom. Sometimes they have WordPress icons down there, or there's an app installer or something like that. Very, very, very easy, self-explanatory. But the hardest part is what Joe really went over with is where to put these name servers, because that's very, 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 very important. So when you go out and when you get these little one-shop hosting shops right here, that's what you're going to want to do is bring that name server back to wherever you bought the domain name from. I have all my domains in GoDaddy. I'm just familiar with it. I like the interface. I know people say to scatter them around. I don't care. I have them all there. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I have them in GoDaddy and Namecheap pretty much. That's it.
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't like, well, this is just kind of stalling, but ultimately that's what it is. Now, what I want to see is right now is everything that we've went over outside of Joe's stripper pictures is that, guys, I want you to make sure that you've got clarity of this. I want you to give me hashtag clear or hashtag not clear. I want to make sure everybody is on board, and this has helped out tremendously. I want to make sure that everyone's on board, that this was tremendously helpful. So, Joe, it looks like you did a pretty good job.
Most people are clear. Someone was not clear.
Yeah. Was there a not clear?
Yeah,
not clear.
Those things there was somebody.
Yeah, right there. Megan, if you will put in the GoToWebinar chat box what you're not clear about, we can go over it. Oh, Dan, what we're talking about is we pay for the hosting with the PayPal account and not the credit card, because the credit card would have to match up the Mary and her address, and we're not Mary. That makes sense? So that's why. Not clear. Is this for the money site? It's for everything.
It's for everything. Yeah, I mean, if I had a money site, like if it was a money site that I was going to put in my name, I just put it in my name.
Right.
It just depends. But this
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But this is how you host anything.
Right.
And I think people get tripped up when they come on a cPanel, it doesn't look exactly like what's in our training videos or what they've seen before. And really, all you have to do is like find the app installer for WordPress and find, if you want to create an email, where to create an email. And you know, that's really about it.
Right. Let me just get a little bit clear for those so you can understand a little bit better. Now that Joe's explained the nuts and bolts of it, I want to go through. Some of you might not think you got it, but look at it this way. When you buy a website, you're buying a spirit. You're buying a spirit. It's just there's nothing there. There's no body. It's a spirit. You bought cottongrammar.com. It's a spirit. The hosting is the body. That's the body. That's what your home is. So the spirit needs a home. It needs a body. That's what hosting is. So once you put that spirit in the body, then you've got to connect the spirit and the body together so it becomes one. That's how the hosting works with it back and forth. So that's kind of it. So you can have, and you can switch the body out with different things. They're both separate. You can change hosting as easily out as ever before. It says, should we know all things to do on cPanel? I can tell you this. Assimilation did a webinar back in November, I believe. It was just on cPanel. You can go back and you can watch it. So yes, Liz, I buy all of my domains in GoDaddy, and I've got a few in Namecheap, but I host them out in different places, and that's what you're going to do. The safest way that we have found to have PBNs is what we don't want to see is the same IP address being used. I want you to look at this. There's the best way to explain this. So let me just get a new page here. New slide. I'm pretty good with this thing real quick here. So let's say that we have a website right here, and this is a website, all right? Here's your website. And all of a sudden, we have these things that are pointing in. So we have this that's linking to the website right here, all right? It's linking into it. So this is a PBN, all right? And this is going to have an IP address, and I'm just going to do it all stupid here. And this is the IP address. All right? I just made up some numbers here. That's the IP address. Wouldn't it look suspicious? The reason we want another host is if we've got another PBN hosted with the same thing coming in here, and let's just say that I had this right here with the exact same IP address. And then I've got another one with the same thing and another one with the same thing. That would look suspicious. That's leaving a footprint. You've got this IP address and this IP address linking to your site. Now it looks like you've got a link network coming into your website. So what we want to do is, when we're using these separate hosts, what we do is we have it look like this. We have it look like this, and we have it look like that, and now it doesn't leave a footprint. So now it looks like it's a different person linking to your website. Think about it. If you had a website, it would not look natural if you had 10 of the same different websites with different names all on the same IP. That wouldn't look. Now, I want to make sure that everyone's following me here. Is everyone following me on that of why we want to use different hosts and why it's important? Because we're getting a different IP address coming into the website. So what happens is, just make sure if you understand this, guys, give me hashtag understand. I want to make sure that we get a hashtag understand. Great. So what happens is, guys, is when we come over here, I want you to look at this. You see this? Look, even though I've got 21,000 links, that doesn't matter. Here's what happens. See this right here? Referring IPs. I've got 1,600 unique IPs. This doesn't mean anything to me. This is what they look at right here. It's very important. The more IPs that you have, different unique IPs pointing to your site means the more unique sites that you have here pointing to you. So these are unique, all unique IPs pointing to the site. And that's why when we get down to this, we want as many different pointing as possible. So that's why I'm getting ready to give you 500 different hosts who's all going to have 500 different IPs. We're going to do Joe's name generator. We're going to have different names, different addresses, different IPs. All of this stuff entirely different. Entirely different. Now, what I want to make sure is that now this should have just opened everyone's eyes up 100%. Yes, you are right. The more unique IPs, the more trust. But what I want, please guys, if this webinar has kind of opened up your mind, just give me hashtag got it now. Got it. Like if you didn't know anything before, give me got it. If you don't got it, give me hashtag just no go. I just want to see how many people this has really helped out, because this is the second phase, guys. Once you understand this, you can now arm yourself to power your website up 100%. So this is it, guys. This is the most difficult the SEO is going to get. If you think this is hard, that's okay. It is. If it was easy, no one would be doing it. But Joe, really, this was really about the hardest lesson to go over, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a little more technical, but I think you explained it perfectly.
Right.
You know, I think you explained it perfectly what it is. And there's some people who are saying, well, would you just use privacy, not a fake name?
Well, right. But how's
yeah.
How's that going to look if you got 1,000, sites that have privacy on it?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that a footprint? Tell me that's not going to look strange that all of a sudden you have, 500, privacy blocked, and that's all you've got pointing to your website. It don't look right. It just doesn't. You want to mix it up. Remember, guys, everything you want it look as natural as possible. You want a little sprinkle here. You want a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. You want it to look just as much money. And guys, privacy is free with Namecheap. Privacy is free with Namecheap. What does proxies do? Proxies has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. We will get into that if we need it for something else. So pretty much, I just want to make sure that everyone's on page with that right now. So I'm going to give you guys a different lesson. A different lesson. First of all, I want to see this. How many of you have completed every lesson that we've gave out up to this point? I'm just kind of curious. Give me hashtag complete. I'm just curious, out of the 350 people that are on here right now, how many have completed everything that we set out to do on every webinar? I want to see the percentage that we're doing, to what we're getting. And Joe, it's looking pretty strong, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of people taking action.
Great.
Joseph Baffy, man, he's got to get on it. He said no, he's got to get on it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else, man, we're getting a lot of completes coming in.
Good. And guys, guess what? A lot of these people that started out 6-7 weeks ago had to wait a week to get started. If you just started a couple weeks ago, you can binge watch all these assimilation webinars and get all the stuff knocked out in a week. It's not hard. Not hard, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy stuff. So this is going to be the lesson for next week. What I want you to do is buy one more PBN at least. One PBN, but I want you to set up 2 on hosting. 2 of the PBNs on hosting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this replay up as fast as possible so you guys are able to follow along with it. So with that, guys, I think you guys are able to get this done. And now what you're able to do is, guys, I want you to think about this. You can now go out. You can now go out and buy PBNs. We showed you how to do that last week. Now you know how to host them. They're still going to be a little shaky on that. That's okay. But next week, guys, what we're going to do is talk about literally how we can keep powering up your website. So we might talk about how to theme the PBN, what the PBNs need to look like so they look natural, so do all this. But guys, it's the cycle that I showed you last week at the beginning of the webinar. It's just we do it again and again and again. It's like orbiting around the sun. We just build more power around it, more social profiles. Guys, if you've built 50 social profiles, I would build 50 more. I would build 50 more to your website. So buy one more PBN, and I want you to set up 2 on hosting. So I should give you 2 PBNs, 2 in hosting from the list that I'm going to give you. So let me slide this over here. Boom. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to share this. Share. Let me get this out of the way. Share with the link. Let me get this right here. Let me copy it. And we will post this inside the Facebook group. This is the link right here, guys, to all 500. Right there. I'm going to put it in the chat box as well. I'm going to send it to all you guys right now. So you guys have it. So what I want you to do is to sift through, and I know you can find 2 out of this list to hook up hosting with. That's what I want you to do. So now you got 2 PB. I want you to buy another PBN to give you 2. Let's just go ahead and we're going to make it here at the end of the webinar so everyone sees this. So we want to buy one more PBN. Buy one more PBN. Then I wanted you to set up your 2 PBNs on hosting. That's it. And what we're going to do next week is we're going to show you, we're going to go over how to power it up, but we're also going to get a little deeper into now how do you theme your PBNs? What do you need to get them to look like? They need to look as real as possible. You know, if you got a manual review, is it going to pass? All this other sort of stuff. And we're going to show you a couple more ways to get things powered up. So guys, we're on our way. Once you get past next week, then I can start showing you really cutting edge things to get your website ranked as fast as possible. But you have to become very good at this. You have to become good. And I know that we've heard a lot of Joe talking about outsourcers. Guys, if I hear any of you are trying to hire an outsourcer, I'm going to conk you on the head. We're not doing any outsourcers right now. You don't need outsourcers for at least 6 months. You're not qualified to inspect the work to know how to do it. Joe is. So we need to do the work ourselves. It's kind of like you need to learn how to build a house before you go out and hire contractors to look to see if they know what they're doing. So remember, we need to be the experts.
Yeah, and 2 is you need to exactly like, and you need to know how to yourself, because if you hire an outsourcer and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to waste a lot of money, and you're going to be really frustrated. So you got to do a lot of these yourself, so you know them inside and out before you can hire somebody else.
Sure. And what we'll do is, guys, I want you to thank Joe, guys. Joe set this up tonight, even though we went through it fairly quick. You guys should know exactly what to do right now. You've come a long way, guys. Congratulate yourselves. I want you to thank Joe. Joe has come through with an amazing lesson tonight, guys. And listen, if you've got simple hosting questions, post them in the Facebook group. Just post them in there. You guys can help each other. How about this? How about reach out to a partner and pick out 2 together and work on it together? There's nothing wrong with working in groups trying to figure it out. There's someone right here. How about this? If you would like a partner to kind of work through setting up the hosting with you, put #partner right here, and we're going to end the webinar like that. At least you can find someone to reach out to that we know that you want to partner up with someone, and that you guys can look at each other's and inspect each other's WordPress, that it's set up right and all that sort of stuff. So if you'd like a partner, get one up, guys. Having a strategic person to bounce stuff off of, or they might see something different that you don't. Now's a good time to kind of partner up with this sort of stuff and message your partner first. Kind of find out. There's a lot of partners here, Joe. People should be linking up. And what you can do is you can message your partner first and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this. Have you figured this out? No, and then, well, I've got this figured out. You guys might be able to move twice as fast. I know that there's a lot of times that Joe helps me out tremendously. I call up Joe and say, hey, Joe, you know how to do this? Yeah, it's just this. Oh, thanks. Save me 40 minutes of having to dig around and look for something.
Oh, yeah, I mean, same thing with me, with you and Fletch and everything. But, dude, I remember, now you say that, Con, I remember when I first started, and even when I first got an OMG, that's what I used to do. I had people that I talked to with Skype, and, we'd help each other figure stuff out. I mean, that's really powerful, and that's part of why people came into OMG. It's that community.
Yeah. And Joe just got up a great point, guys, getting on Skype, trading screens, showing each other the control panel, walking it through each other together. It means you're getting double training and you're getting to learn stuff. So maybe you can get together with a partner and agree on doing two of the same hosts, and both you guys can learn them together, and it's easy enough. Guys, these are fun for us. It's great seeing you guys progress. And, hook up with a partner, guys. Look for someone on here and just send them a personal message. Send them a friend request and say, hey, would you like to, just someone to be accountable for stuff and get it going. But we'll keep it short and tight tonight. Very important stuff. Very, very, very heavy important stuff. I don't want to load you down with too much stuff. So we're going to keep it very, 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 no pun intended, light for tonight. So, Joe, any last words?
No, I mean, that's about it. I think we covered it really good, and I really liked your illustration, so I'm going to steal that one about the body and the essence. I like
body and the spirit, sure.
The spirit.
Yeah, what I always looked at is I've always looked at a website as haunting. It's like a haunting. You can't, like a possession, so they have to go together. So I've always looked at it like that. That's what helped me understood it. So either way, guys, hunt for Moon Crystal Girl, man. We need her. She's around here somewhere. Someone look for Moon Crystal Girl. We need her live on the hot seat next one. So, instead of, what is that? Where in the world is that? What was that? Carmen Santiago or something? Or what was that? Or where in the world is Dora? Or I don't know.
Oh no, Waldo?
Oh, where in the world is Waldo? That's it. There you go.
Right, where's Waldo? Hey, but what I want, dude, I want everyone to hashtag Things Cotton too, because one thing, man, Cotton, I know you guys probably know this, or I don't know the extent you know it, but he takes a lot of time in planning out these assimilation lights and exactly what is told, so you guys cannot over 100 hashtag Think Cottons, because, dude, he really, really goes out of his way to make sure that these things are really, for you guys to keep progressing. So,
right.
Great.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Yeah. Guys, my last words is this. I would make sure you have a babysitter. I'd make sure that if you have a day job, that you tell your boss that you need off. If you're in Australia or if you're at some other part of the world where there's kangaroos and tigers and cougars running around the streets or monkeys running in the streets, I'd lock your doors, or I would take a nap and stay up, because this week on assimilation is going to melt your brain. Isn't that right, Joe?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be, I'm going to say it's going to be one of the best ones of the year. That's what I'm going to say.
Me too.
So, yeah, it's definitely going to be the hot one.
Tell the wife, tell the boyfriend, lock the kids up. Doesn't matter. Just tie your kids around the dog and tell the dog to go for a walk. You need to be on assimilation on Wednesday. Trust me when I say this. I would not depend on a replay. I'd find a way to be there. So that's my final words, and I will see you guys next week.
All right. See ya.